Hello everyone, and welcome to another DI concept analysis, a series of videos where I discuss about upcoming dinosaur concept arts released for Evrima. Today we will explore Deinocheirus, its real-life counterpart, and how it's going to be in the future. So without further ado, sit back and enjoy the video. Deinocheirus mirificus, meaning terrible hand, was a large-sized dinosaur from the late Cretaceous, 71 million years ago, roaming the vast swamps of Mongolia. Cheirus was an extremely unique and bizarre creature from the Mesozoic for multiple reasons. An extremely large ornithomimid descendant, long-necked with an elongated duck-like beak, camel-like hump on their backs, and ginormous hands. In fact, Deinocheirus had one of the largest arms of any dinosaur, almost 7 feet of pure muscle ending with 3 10-inch curved claws. This beast was indeed an outlier. It belonged to the Deinocheiridae family, a very small and distinct group of bipedal dinosaurs, all presenting the same characteristics, with Cheirus being the largest of the bunch, with their impressive 36 feet in length and 6.4 tons. Its fossils were found in Mamekt Formation in Central Asia, which at the time was composed of dense swamps, suggesting this was its main habitat, a theory that would explain its toothless duck-shaped beak and unusually large forelimbs, digging up plants or roots found in the shallow waters and feeding on furs, cicads, I don't even know how to pronounce this thing, to be honest, and other sorts of tough fibrous vegetation found there, with the presence of gastroliths inside their stomachs reinforcing its herbivorous diet. While their arms were most likely used primarily for feeding purposes, they were very capable of being utilized as defensive tools against predators, something that would certainly happen due to the presence of large carnivorous theropods such as Tarbosaurus in the same formation, something further emphasized due to the evidence of teeth marks present on Deinocheirus' fossils. Despite its rather unusual physical characteristics, Cheirus quickly became an extremely popular creature in paleomedia and the paleo community, with some appearances already in gaming, and now that the Isle has finally released its concept art, we can speculate how this prehistoric platypus will perform in a new branch. Once again, the devs are taking heavy inspiration from the paleontologically accurate depiction of the animal. In Cheirus' case, we can see that with the use of its robust claws to dig underwater in search of food. We have seen other dinosaurs digging in the game before, but never underwater, so this can possibly mean that there will be a specific plant or root which only Cheirus can feed on, maybe even being important for its diet. That would promote Deinocheirus' players to stay in the swamps for longer, incentivizing that specific gameplay behavior which perfectly matches with the animal in question. Also, here's a baby Cheirus. There's nothing important here, I just found it cute. Here we can detect two relevant details. We can observe just how massive this duck camel really is in comparison to the small human on the side, but most importantly, we can see them walking underwater, not swimming. I wouldn't say that this is identical to what we could see in the Enki's concept art, since Enki did actually fully submerge when traversed the lake/river, but nevertheless this shows that Cheirus will be able to normally walk even in relatively deep bodies of water, although they may not fully submerge like Enkis do. At the bottom right we have both an Albertosaurus and a Deinocheirus partially submerged on a body of water. However, upon a closer inspection, it doesn't seem to be actually water. Its coloration is much darker and it doesn't move as widely as normal water should, especially where the Alberto is located. It is possible that this might be actually mud, more specifically mud pits, that slowly drag down every living creature, restraining them and slowly killing them by starvation or straight up drowning them if the pit is deep enough. an hypothesis reinforced by the Alberto specimen showing signs of struggle moving in the mud. This implies that Cheiruses have the unique ability to freely move in these kind of environmental hazards without any risk, something that presumably no other dinosaur is capable of. Again, I might be wrong on this one, but I think the illustration is showcasing that feature well if that's the case. Next, we can see another specimen scratching the trunk of a tree. Since there's no territory system planned for the game, or at least that I'm aware of, this is most likely either a simple behavioral emote, something that Kissen did say in one of the first few dev blogs a long time ago, or maybe it's trying to sharpen them, something that Barry also did on its own concept art. And since we do know that such mechanic is going to exist, with track being an example mentioned by the devs, it is very plausible that the same will be part of Cheiruses' kit. And lastly, we have yet another specimen, but this time it is actively fighting a Suchomimus. One thing to note before talking about Dino, maybe it is a perspective issue, but it feels to me that Sucho is much larger in this image than its legacy counterpart, which honestly it would be good for him, cause good lord legacy Sucho is a complete midget. It is rather interesting that Cheiruses is pushing the Sucho down rather than just slapping it with its arms. Maybe this can mean that dinos can pull a kangaroo move and try to drown their opponents if they fight in the water, or perhaps it is simply using its own weight to knock its opponent down. Being the only herbivorous semi-aquatic apex in the Isle, Deinocheirus will most likely be a direct opponent to Spinosaurus, being a great source of food for one and a potential danger to the other. So both species will probably be very hostile towards each other pretty frequently. However, Cheiruses' specialization on swampy regions instead of all kinds of bodies of water might alleviate the tension between the two a bit, an idea reinforced with the presence of Dinosaur's exclusive food source present in those areas. That might also form extra challenges to the other animals that prefer swamps. Despite being a herbivore, it is more than capable of defending itself with its sheer size, weight and heavy weaponry, so other dinosaurs, especially predators, will perhaps have a difficult time coexisting with such a dangerous creature with no hostilities, basically making Deinocheirus a plant-eater water bear, a big and strong animal that as long as you don't provoke it, it will leave you alone for the most part. Being portrayed so often in a single location can also suggest that it's very slow on land, but since it's a bipedal animal, maybe it just benefits more being in the swamps than out, which from a design perspective it's better than the alternative, rewarding players for staying in one place rather than penalizing them for being away from it. Overall, this is an amazing Deinocheirus design, both in model and playstyle, accurately representing real-life behavior in a video game setting while still feeling immersive. Only time will tell how well or badly it will perform in the game, but at least to me, this is probably the apex I'm most excited for, even surpassing Triceratops, which is something I thought it would never happen. Hopefully we will have them sooner rather than later, but until then, I would say that its simple but well-guided playstyle fits it really well and it's decently thought out. But what do you guys think? Do you like the Isle's Deinocheirus' design? Share your thoughts and opinions down below. If you want to watch previous concept analysis, there will be a playlist available in the end credits. If you are also interested in discussions about the Isle and its future, check out the rest of my content. A huge thank you to my Patreon supporters for supporting the channel and the content I create. If you want to join the ranks, the link will be in the description. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and opinions down below, join our Discord server for memes and paleoartnet stuff, and I hope to see you all next week.